Your emotions are not meant to lead. Welcome back to Still Standing, a Stoic Mindset. Up to now, we've talked about control, silence, detachment, discipline, acceptance, and response. All of these ideas point to one deeper Stoic truth. A stable life is built on values, not emotions. Emotions are real, they're valid, they're human, but Stoicism teaches that emotions are signals, not instructions. Today, we're talking about what it means to live by values instead of emotions, and how this shift creates consistency, clarity, and inner peace, even when feelings change. Emotions feel powerful because they're immediate. They arrive fast. They demand attention. They push for action. When you're angry, action feels justified. When you're hurt, withdrawal feels necessary. When you're excited, impulsive decisions feel right. But Stoicism teaches that emotions are temporary states, not reliable guides. If emotions led your life, your direction would constantly change. Your standards would shift daily. Your peace would depend on mood. Living emotionally feels authentic, but it often leads to inconsistency and regret. Stoicism teaches that values create stability where emotions cannot. Values are chosen, consistent, grounded. They don't change based on mood. Values sound like, I act with integrity, even when I'm angry. I communicate respectfully, even when I'm hurt. I choose restraint, even when reacting feels easier. Stoics believed character mattered more than comfort. Your values define who you are when emotions are loud, and that's where real strength is revealed. Stoicism doesn't ask you to ignore emotions. It asks you to interpret them. Emotion says, I feel disrespected. I feel disappointed. I feel afraid. Stoicism responds, what values should guide my next step? Emotion gives information. Values give direction. When you let emotions command behavior, you react. When you let values guide behavior, you respond. This is how Stoicism creates emotional maturity, not by denial, but by leadership. Living by values changes how you show up in relationships. Instead of asking, how do I feel right now? You ask, how do I want to act? Values might lead you to pause instead of argue, speak calmly instead of defensively, walk away instead of explode. Maintain dignity instead of proving a point. This doesn't mean you ignore emotion. It means emotion doesn't dictate behavior. Stoicism teaches that self-respect is shown through consistency, not emotional expression. You don't abandon your values just because your feelings are intense. Living by values creates peace because it removes inner conflict. When emotions lead, you often feel regret after reacting, confusion about your decisions, guilt about how you handled situations. When values lead, you trust yourself, you feel grounded, you move with clarity. Stoicism teaches that peace isn't found by chasing comfort, it's found by acting in alignment, even when situations are uncomfortable. Here's a Stoic practice you can use daily. Before responding in an emotional moment, ask, what value do I want to honor right now? It might be integrity, calm, respect, discipline, self-control. Then let that value decide your action. This simple pause shifts power from emotion to intention. That's Stoic living in practice. Emotions will rise and fall. They will change with circumstances. Values remain. Stoicism teaches that a steady life is built on principles, not moods. You can feel deeply without being led blindly. You can honor emotion without surrendering control. When values lead, your life becomes consistent, grounded, and calm, even when emotions are intense. That's how you build inner strength. That's how you protect your peace. That's how you stay aligned. And that's how you remain still standing. Before we close, remember this: feelings inform, values decide. In the next episode, we'll be talking about discipline over motivation and why Stoicism teaches consistency instead of inspiration. If today's episode resonated with you, make sure to follow and stay connected. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and all platforms at @dozeoffA. Thank you for listening. Stay grounded, stay intentional, and remember, we're still standing.